Your list is your business real estate, right? Big or small or indifferent, the best lists. So I just want to go through. Best lists, existing customer list number 1. So we can send a campaign to an existing customer list today. Number 2, past customer list, people who are no longer doing business with you. Hey, do you need some help, right? Familiar list. Now, I love the familiar list. So the familiar list to me, friends, family, associates, alumni, close connections on social media, people who you know, right? That you can send out an offer to, right? They may not take up your offer, although some of them might. They may refer you to somebody else, right? Familiar list, always the most powerful list. How many people got their first clients with somebody or that somebody they knew, right? Look at that, nearly half the room, yeah? My first client when I started consulting 28 years ago came from a friend. That was my first client, right? So familiar list, it's amazing. And you want to go back to the familiar list. How many people, this might be an interesting question, there are family members who tell me that I need to get a job, right? You know, what do you do, right? You need to get a job. You need to let people know what you do, right? You need to let them know what you do. And by doing that on a consistent basis, 2 things are going to happen. 1, they'll finally get it, right? Number 2, you will get better at communicating to people what it is that you actually do. Oftentimes, I've pulled people up even in some of my coaching calls, and I've asked them, great, so tell me how you're going to help me. And they'll start to blubber and splurt and blah, 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 right? Okay, great, so let's keep it simple. If we were friends, what would that conversation look like? Tell me about it, right? And then they would relax, and then they would say, this is what we do. Great, I get it. That's what you need to do to people. Be the friend. Be a friend first to have a friend. Prospect target marketing list. We all should have a prospect target marketing list. My favorite lists are strategic alliance lists. People who serve your customers that you can work with and help and support, right? They are great lists. Trade show lists, love trade show. Because they're lists, if you go to a trade show event online, CES is a huge event. There's 3 of them in the year. The biggest one's in Las Vegas. 5,000 exhibitors. The cheapest booth is $30,000. That's the cheapest booth. The average booth of the sizable company is about $600,000. I'm talking a booth that's probably from that door to that door, 600 grand, right?
Which show is this one?
CES, Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. But here's the thing. I'm the idiot that goes to the show. You can get the list for free. If you hop on the CES website, it actually categorizes it from A to Z and then gives you niche categories as well. You can actually go to subcategories online on the internet for free. And when you register with CES, you must, if you're an exhibitor, you must register with the CEO's name. So the list has the CEO's name on it of the companies. Companies that are spending $600,000 on a booth for 4 days. 4 days. And also paying tens of thousands of dollars for accommodation to have their team. By the way, Las Vegas accommodation at CES goes through the roof. I stayed in a toilet at the Flamingo Hilton for $1,000 a night, right? And that was the only room I could get. That was the only room I could get for CES. But companies spend a lot of money to go to CES, right? Great lists, free lists. People who spend money are people you want to be talking to, especially people who spend money on marketing. Social media connections, Facebook, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the best business database. Yamina, the best business database on the planet. It is the best business database. Very quantifiable. I'm going to give you a really neat trick. There's a person called a LinkedIn line. You know these people? Yeah. If you want to get bucket loads of connections, and if you're using Sales Navigator, this is just a simple trick. LinkedIn lines will never knock you back for a connection. A LinkedIn line is a LinkedIn online networker, right? They want to connect with you. They generally have tens of thousands of connections, or they try to build tens of thousands of connections. So if you highlight in the search bar LinkedIn line and connect with a LinkedIn line, you don't want to do business with a LinkedIn line. More likely you don't want to do business with a LinkedIn line, right? Because LinkedIn line is all about getting connections. What you're interested in is their second degree connections. Because if you connect with a LinkedIn line and you hop over to Sales Navigator and then you put your avatar in and you put the decision maker, the position, the location, and the number of people that work in the company, and then press enter, you will end up with a massive list. So easy to find, there's no excuse. Everybody can find leads through their connections.